I'm Maria Menounos, and you're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
What's up, you guys? Welcome back to AfterBuzz TV. I'm Jane Johnson here for the AfterBuzz TV's Bravo in Quarantine series with me, Jane Johnson. And today I'm so excited to have our guest, Julia Daoud, famously known as Jules from Summer House. And she was delivering for us last night in the finale and the reunion. I'm so happy to be chatting with her today. And she looks like a vision in red. Welcome, Jules.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited
Thank you so much for coming on. Now, I know we want to talk a little bit about how your quarantine's been going, but first, I mean, girl, we got to get into that reunion because it was incredible.
Thank you.
How did you feel after that experience? Because obviously this is your first season on the show, and I would imagine like going through a reunion is enough, but at least in person you could be able to hug it out with people. Like I know Hannah was saying she wished that during some of these episodes she could have just been holding you and talking you through stuff. Like how did that feel to just log off Zoom afterwards?
It was very weird. And I was very anxious after it all had happened. I mean, we were all calling each other afterwards and just like spilling our feelings. Because it's weird. You almost like feel that you're together through the screen. And then like once you hang up, you realize that you're alone. And I'm quarantined alone. So it was overwhelming. A lot of feelings.
Yeah. So who was the first call? Who did you talk to first right after the reunion?
I think it was Carl, and then it was Amanda, and then it was Paige.
Oh my gosh, I love this union between you and Carl. What was said in that phone call right after the reunion?
I mean, we just kind of hashed everything out that you saw in the reunion. I don't know. Carl and we talk very frequently, especially during the quarantine. And every time we talk, it's just about, how much progress he's been making. And, after some of the episodes, he'll tell me just how sorry he is again for the way things went down. And him and I are in a great place right now.
Yeah, and that's so amazing because I think that was definitely a beautiful moment of the reunion where he kind of went around and apologized individually to everyone. And your arc with him throughout the season went from so tumultuous to then being the closest.
Yeah, it was a roller coaster of a friendship. I've like obviously gotten a lot of comments like, why would you be friends with this guy who just wanted to kick you out? And I mean, I took it almost as an opportunity to get to know Carl on a deeper level. He's yelling at me to make deeper connections with people in the house. So, okay, like I'm going to show you that I'm capable of doing that and show you who I really am.
Yeah, exactly. And what was going through your mind in that finale episode during the rave when he started making out with Danielle? And even watching it back, some of the comments he was making about how like he'd rather be with Danielle versus be with you. What was going through your mind watching all that back?
It's Carl. Like literally it's Carl. I wasn't trying to date him. Like him and I were just having some innocent fun. And I mean, if he wants to go make out with Danielle, then like go make out with Danielle.
Yeah. It seems like the friendship that you guys have established is much stronger, that you wouldn't necessarily want to go down that road romantically.
Yeah, I mean, especially just, considering the place he was in last summer, like it was just much better if we remained friends.
That's awesome. Well, I definitely want to chat about what went down with Luke because there was so much off camera that happened, it sounds like, at that 4th of July party that we didn't get to see. And perhaps we'll be able to see some in Secrets Revealed. But I felt like you were definitely sharing a lot in that reunion that maybe was cut for time. So I just wanted to hear from your perspective, like what exactly occurred with Luke on the 4th of July and the beef that sort of developed that seemed to have been underlying and was uncovered with the reunion.
Luke and I just think that we really got off to the wrong foot from the beginning. From the first weekend we met each other, he was kind of judging me already based on my relationship with Jordan. And he hadn't even met Jordan yet. So I was like, how can you be so judgmental about two people that you don't even know? Like, you've just met me and you haven't even gotten a chance to meet Jordan. So him and I were very different people. We had our differences, and what was said on the reunion is essentially everything that happened. And I was genuinely so shocked that it even got brought up in the first place, because we had apologized during the summer. We had hung out and, as a cast, as a group, at brunches and events, and him and I got along. Like, there were no issues. So I thought we were very well past the issues that occurred over the summer. And so I was just shocked that it resurfaced.
Yeah. Interesting, because I know our own AfterBuzz host has spoken with Luke as well, and Luke kind of teased that there was a little bit of drama between you guys before the reunion aired. So it just seemed like this has been lingering even since. Like, have you guys spoken since you taped the reunion and talked it out?
Luke and I have not spoken. I mean, I just would expect better from a 36-year-old. Like, if you still have these feelings that need to be sorted out, then you should be the 36-year-old guy that you are and reach out to me and hash out those feelings. Don't tell me to my face that we're cool and, we can agree to disagree and move past it, when clearly he's not ready to move past it.
Wow.
Yeah.
And do you stand by what you said in that the hand in the Uber was a slip and that you didn't mean to hit him?
100%. And I even think that hit is an aggressive word. It was like a smack.
Yeah.
Like, I went to smack the headrest, and
Yeah.
we're in a car. It was moving and it slipped and it ended up tapping the back of his head.
Yeah.
And like, that was wrong. Like, hearing about Luke's past, with his ex-girlfriend, like, it broke my heart that that had happened. But the way that Luke was speaking to me all throughout the summer was just absolutely unacceptable.
Yeah. And like, how did it feel for him to be seeming to like force his friends on you? Because I mean, you use the word misogyny, which a lot of people I saw on Twitter were backing you up on that. I mean, it's not right in any way for someone to be pushing their friends on someone in that way. So I'm
Like,
glad that you stood up for yourself. And how did that feel to?
it was very bizarre. I mean, I've really never dealt with a guy like Luke before. Just the way that he kind of assumed that I would hook up with his friends just for complimenting them. Like, it was 2019. Like, I was shocked that, like, that's your behavior.
Yeah.
It was just disappointing.
Definitely, definitely. And so, that was definitely a key moment from the reunion that we loved seeing. And I'm glad that you guys got to hash it out. But it seems like for a next season, if we have you guys both back, this could be something that is ongoing for Summer House. Do
Yeah.
you guys have you heard anything about a next season? Because obviously with Corona, that seems to be up in the air. Plus, it sounds like you guys always find out in June anyway. So
Yeah, I mean, with everything so uncertain right now, we're kind of in the same boat and really just taking it day by day to see if it is possible to do it given the circumstances. But
yeah,
fingers
I mean,
crossed.
I know fans like myself, we're hoping for a fall house, a winter house, a spring
I know.
house. We'll take
Something.
whatever we can get.
I know. We're
But don't make us wait another year.
I know, I know. We're taking it day by day, just like the whole world kind of is at this point.
I know. So, okay, so I'm a little bit curious about the Jordan thing because I feel like in the past, some people have said that Jordan and you being together were a way for you to both secure your place in the house. Obviously, throughout the season, you stayed and Jordan left. So, how do you respond to that feedback that it seemed like you guys had a union sort of just for the show?
I mean, I think it's absurd. I mean, I had just moved to New York from Chicago, and when Hannah offered to join the house, like, I wanted to make friends. I left my entire friend group in Chicago to move to New York. And so, I mean, that whole thing, it just doesn't make sense. Like, I can't speak for Jordan, but for me, I was there with the intentions of making new friends and having a fun summer. And I mean, I thought Jordan's intentions with me were good, and his true colors, as the weekends kept going on, they just started coming out. And I mean, he played me.
I mean, that was so frustrating to
Summer.
watch because, I mean, seeing you get denied like that, it was like, if someone's going to deny Jules, then what hope is there for the rest of us? Jesus Christ.
It disgusted me, honestly. And I actually got really emotional when the girls told me that he just wasn't into me, because this whole time, like, he's sleeping in my bedroom and telling me that he wants to take me home to mom and like all of these romantic things. And then, oh, I'm just not into you. It's like,
Yeah.
go back to the city, figure your shit out, and we'll talk later.
Yeah, and I'm glad the choices that were made to keep you there. And in that same token, a little bit, it seems like with the whole Luke Hannah relationship, that like he was telling her one thing, but then not hooking up with her sex wise, like not having sex with her. Do you think in any way that that union and that relationship was a showmance for Luke to secure his spot?
I mean, I don't know. I think Luke and Hannah really do have some sort of connection, whatever it is. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, Hannah was just looking to have fun all summer, and Luke was clearly figuring his stuff out. And I think I just felt bad that Hannah was being dragged along on that journey with him when she was just looking to have a fun summer. And it turned out to be like this whole, oh, now I'm going to Minnesota with him. um,
Yeah.
but yeah, I don't know. I know that they still talk occasionally, and that's about all I know about the relationship to this extent.
Yeah. It seems like they do have a good like summer fling situation where, I'm sure for
Yeah.
another season they could have another great fling, but in the meantime, they're not necessarily fully together.
Yeah, my opinion, I think they wouldn't necessarily be compatible romantically, but I could see a good friendship forming from it.
Did you feel like throughout that whole rift, because I know like Hannah obviously brought you into the house and she and you were the closest to begin with, but then through that rift, it seems like in a lot of the scenes, you were paired off with Paige and kind of consoling her while Hannah was with Lindsay. Like, did you feel so in the middle of this? And how did you kind of like pick sides? Like, it seemed I kind of felt like you were very much in the middle and almost gravitating towards Paige and Amanda. So I wanted to get your opinion on how that sort of went down.
I felt stuck in the middle too, and especially like as the new girl, like you have a big group of girls and then just three guys. So it's not like I'm gonna immediately go and be like a guy's girl. And then the dynamic between the girls, like everyone is so different. And I think I just naturally gravitated towards Paige more because we're so similar. We're close in age. We're the two youngest in the house. But I also did have a really good bond with Lindsay in the beginning as well. So I was stuck in the middle, and just watching all of that drama unfold, I didn't want to take sides because especially after, Jordan gave the whole ultimatum, like, what side are you going to take? I was like, I don't want any side. I just want to have fun. But
Yeah.
I did side a little bit with Paige and Amanda because I was a little concerned that Luke could have potentially been playing Hannah at the time.
Yeah.
Given his whole, side hooking up piece situation, I didn't want to see Hannah get hurt.
Especially your reaction in that car. That was like a perfect meme from Summer House when you found out that he was hooking up with a girl for like a week and a half ago. You're like, so good.
Literally, like, what? I mean, yeah, like Hannah was so open and honest with him from the get-go. And hearing that come out and that he's been like seeing her and Hannah had no idea, like, come on, like treat others with the respect that you'd like to be treated.
So true. Well, I could honestly chat with you forever, Jules. I'm
No.
so glad that we did this. Thank you
Thank you
so
so
much
much
for
for
coming
having
on.
me.
And I want people to know where they can find you. So let us know Instagram, where can we find you?
You can find me on Instagram at Simply Jules with 3 underscores. And my website should be back up and launching soon. And that's Simply Jules.
Love it. And she's on Twitter, people.
And I'm on Twitter, Simply Jules with 3 underscores again.
Amazing. Well, this has been AfterBuzz TV's Bravo in Quarantine. I'm Jane Johnson, and I'm bringing you all of these interviews. We've got Paige DeSorbo next. This has been so much fun. Thank you again, Julia, for coming on. You're the best, Jules, and you rocked it in that reunion. Thanks, girl.
Thank you for having me.
Our founder, Keven Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.